Okay, so real quick, I got stuff to do today. First of all, why are Will and Courtney still on this show? We don't care about them getting ready for the interview because we already saw the interview. Um, I'm not talking about them no more. So Joella has low self-esteem, and it took a long time for me to realize that I can normally catch it when it first appears. But the way she cried in that confessional saying people make her feel ugly inside. Side note, is something wrong? Is her glasses are the glasses crooked, or is her eye like one of her eyes slightly above the other? I don't know. I just feel like Joella is a beautiful girl, and she does have some kind of difference going on in her face, but it doesn't make her any less beautiful. And I can understand how she can have like insecurities from that. But Joella, if you ever come across this video, you are a beautiful girl, and um, you just need to leave them people alone. Okay, you can find somebody else. The investigator that the law firm sent over to talk to Joella lets Kiana know that Joella wants to meet with her in person before she will sign that paper. Kiana says she doesn't know about meeting with Joella and she thinks it's a setup. Demadrick is in this confessional like, it's two queens, it's the lion and the gorilla, they're gonna be fighting. I'm like, what are you talking about? He does not want them to meet up because his secrets are going to come out. They're going to get together, they're going to get them calendars out, and they're going to start putting one in the first and the third together, and they're going to come up with he's going back and forth. He does not want that to happen. Letitia. I don't really talk much about them, but they got good this time. Letitia, should I call her Tisha? One of them, is now concerned about what her children and her husband will do if she's arrested. She's looking at 15 years, and I did not know Letitia was a felon until this episode. She came out and said that she was writing bad checks. Like, she would have 2 or 3 different bank accounts, and she would write a check off of one of her accounts and then go to another bank and cash it in another one of her accounts. And she was doing $12,000 and $13,000 checks. And then she got caught up, and she also had a fraud charge for lying on her food stamp card or not reporting her food stamp application and not reporting income or something. Well, she had to do, in 2018, she had to do 8 months in jail because of the bad checks. So I'm trying to figure out how she's running an accounting firm. Like, who is in charge of this? And that's how you know it's just about money. If you pay the fees, they'll let you have it. And I, for some reason, we're supposed to believe that she's not scamming anymore. I don't believe that. I believe she did it. At the dinner conversation with the family, well, it was her, Letitia Keith, Letitia's youngest daughter, and Kurt's son, Mari. Keith's son, Mari. Girl, I'm struggling today. I had a long night. They have dinner, and when they send the kids up, she mentions her plea deal to Keith, and he was like, what you mean plea deal? I thought, and she was like, well, it's, I don't, it's a choice. I mean, it's an option. So she's like, it's an option or whatever. And he was like, well, he basically said, well, what's going to happen to your kids if you can't do them 15 years? Like, hands off. So she says the oldest one will obviously go to her dad because he's active, but the youngest one, her dad is inactive, and he might try to come and take the baby away from her. And she was like, but if you adopt her, oh honey, that made him so uncomfortable. He was like, yeah, we got a lot on our hands right now. Yeah, we don't, yeah. So they get to, I think she kind of gets offended because she catches it. He ain't trying to adopt your baby. So they have a little back and forth about who did what for who, and that's a turnoff for me. I can't. That's from anybody, a partner, a friendship, a coworker. Don't come up here talking about what you did for me. So, it skips to her court date. She's in the bathroom. She's getting ready, and she tells Keith that she thought about it. She was up all last night and she's going to take the plea. And he was like, what you mean take the plea? I thought we were going all the way. So she basically said she knows he's not going to hold her down for 15 years, so she's going to take the plea. In the confessional, she actually said, I'm taking the plea so I don't have to worry about my husband. So they go in the courthouse, all nerves. They come out kissing. Her plea was accepted and the case is over. She's on probation. So there was an admission of guilt. And she's out here talking about sucking you know what in the parking lot of the courthouse. So the producer asked her the details of her plea, and she said she can't talk about it until it's finalized. After court, they go to a restaurant, and she tells Keith that they need to have a real wedding because it's not a true marriage if you don't say your vows. And he instantly gets offended. He's like, you don't feel married to me? And she was like, I do, but when you proposed, you said, will you effing marry me? And he said, I don't remember that. And what he say that for? Oh, she had a fit in there. And they cut us off, so we won't get to see the fit until next episode. Moving on to Troy. Troy's family is having a dinner after his father's memorial, and he announces that he's going to remarry his wife. And last episode, I forgot to mention that, I don't know if that was last episode or this episode, that she told him about the pregnancy at his father's memorial. And I'm just like, time and place, Zaria. Like, let him fully feel what he's feeling so he can get over his father's death. Not get over it, but get through this time. She just couldn't handle that moment not being about her. It's either that or she was trying to make him feel better in a moment where he was down. One or the other. But I just didn't think that was the time or the place. And then to give him this news while his whole family is there and say, you can't tell anybody. It wasn't the time. So they must have... Troy walks out of the dinner and he goes and gets in the car with Yana and they make peace. And I was very happy to see that. Yana says she's just trying to be a better mother and she does not need or want a relationship with Zaria at all. So, I mean, that's her boundaries. We got to respect them. So they must have skipped ahead a few months because Zaria comes back on camera big and pregnant and they are announcing that they are having a boy. We see Troy FaceTime his mom and he's like, take the train to come see me because I have something important to tell you. So Karen was like, who is going to buy my ticket? Because I'm not, he was like, I'm going to get your ticket. So Zaria's like, I hope she don't come down here and cause a rift. And now we know if it's one thing Karen going to do, is she going to cut up. She can't help it. And that's why I love her. She's very authentic. She's who she is all the time. So he picks up Karen and she's already being shady and sipping out that cup with that straw upside down. Oh, you gotta love Karen. I be on her TikTok lives every day. Love to hear them. So y'all know I don't really do Michael and Justine, but they might have a little bit to talk about coming soon. So Michael they're outside of, I forgot where they were at, but they were outside, going back and forth. He's like, I can just go get a brick right now and I can pay for this wedding and I can pay for this and I can buy you a Ferrari. But I'm like, sir, you ain't be able to do all that with one brick. I don't know the details and the math behind it all, but I know you're not about to be able to take care of everybody with one brick and buy a Ferrari and pay for a $60,000. You're not be able, no, I don't think that's how it works. I'm gonna have to ask somebody. So she's like, I'm not gonna tell a grown man not to get locked back up. Like that's on you. And I think he wanted her to say, no, don't do that. No. She was like, no, you grown. I'm not about to tell you not to get locked back up. So she finally has her sit down with her mom, and it just came out that she was resentful and rebellious as a kid because her dad left. Would have her sitting on the couch waiting for him, call and say he's on the way and have her sitting there waiting, and then he never shows up. So she wasn't taking that out on her mom per se, but it affected her behavior. She was just angry, not at her mom, just in general. And that's more common than people know. So while she's talking to her mom downstairs in the hotel, he's upstairs in the hotel room calling his mom, asking her for $1,000. Now we don't know what he's gonna do with this $1,000, but he was saying that if he doesn't figure out how to pay for this wedding, he believes Justine is gonna leave him. Michael, no, she's not. No, she's not. And if you believe that, you don't believe in her. All right. Who's next? We didn't even see Bianca and Daniel. So I guess we are going straight to... All right. Once again, Brooke is looking for JK. I feel like they need their own show called Losing JK. Because every time I turn around, she is looking for this man. You got to, where your kids at? You got too much going on. She called, blowing his phone up. Like, just fall back. Fall back. He's playing because he knows you're going to always be there, calling, harassing him, stopping by his mama's house, harassing them. It's too much. So she feels like he's either at Alex's house or his mom's house. I think her name is Karen too. He is, in fact, at Alex's house. They are standing out. Well, they are outside. He's in his truck, and she's standing there. And they are. She's like, I don't want to talk to you because you haven't wanted to talk in the past. Now all of a sudden, you know about this baby. You want to talk. So he pulls off or whatever. He checks his phone, and he has 11 missed calls from Brooke. He said he is not going to tell Brooke about the pregnancy until he knows for sure. He goes to his mom's house and he tells his parents, I think that's his dad, or maybe it might just be his mom's husband, but I think it's his dad. But he tells them that Alex is pregnant. And they weren't nearly as upset as they were when they thought Brooke was pregnant. But still upset nonetheless, because what are you doing? In the confessional, Karen, I think his mom's name Karen. I hope I'm not messing up. She looked like Adana, but I think her name's Karen. Karen is in that confessional trying to think back to where she went wrong with JK. Brooks, I'm sorry, JK tells his family that he is going to take a shower, and if Brooke calls, tell her he's not there. Brooke shows up, banging on the people's door and hollering JK's name. So his daddy opens the door and was like, he ain't here. And she was like, his truck is here. Daddy was like, yeah, he walked somewhere. She said his fat ass ain't walked nowhere, and just barged in those people's house and walked up to his mama and was like, where your son? And she was like, okay, you need to calm down. She said, this is as calm as I'm gonna get. Look, girl, who you talking to? Honey, I am waiting on the day. I am waiting. My son will be 16 soon. I am waiting on the day. So, mom is like, he's in the shower, and she goes and then to the people's bathroom and start beating on the door. JK opens it. They start arguing. He grabs her hand, pulls her outside, like, look, you can't be coming to my tea lady house like that. Okay, JK. They said, she said, if you answer your phone, I wouldn't have to come over here. He was like, when did you call me? See, I can't stand that kind of liar. Because you know when I call. You know you watched that phone ring until it couldn't ring no more. You know you sent me straight to voicemail. I called you 11 times. It ain't no way you didn't get none of them calls. And he like, I've been busy. So which is it? You didn't know I called or you been busy? And he was like, she was like, what was you doing? She was like, I've been here chilling with my people, my family. She was like, no, because they said they've been at work all day. So he just cannot get out of this lie. He finally tells her that he had to go talk to Alex. And she like, for what? You said you was done with her or whatever. And I feel like he was like, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. And then the police pull up. So I guess his mama had called the police or something. Or maybe they were there for a totally unrelated issue. But it goes off. So we don't get to see if he's going to tell her about the baby or not. If he tells her about this baby, I hope she's able to move on. Because this is ridiculous. Every time I turn around, she's looking for that man. He drive a bright red truck. Just put a tracker on his car. That's what I would suggest. But, All right, that is it. That's all I have. I will see you in the next one.